What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Devout Joystick, where it's joystick for life. Chris here, and we're going to be touching on one of my favorite RPGs, Final Fantasy X. Stay tuned. I'm going to be talking about why it meant so much to me, the things that I love the most about Final Fantasy X, and why I am going to platinum the mess out of that game. I'm going to touch on it on the Vita, the PlayStation 4, and when I get another PlayStation 3, I'm going to beat it on that. And when I get it on PlayStation 2, I'm going to get it on that. It's just going to be nice. So please like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned, and we're going to get into this. Final Fantasy X was released in the summer of 2001. I didn't play the game until about 2002. When I touched the game, I thought it was the most beautiful thing ever, stepping away from the little 8-bit, 16-bit characters that Final Fantasy 7 and 8 tried to make the better looking characters. It was a better game, and another one that's coming on the list in another video. Final Fantasy X was the culmination of everything that I enjoyed in the RPG, from the side quests of Blitzball, the battle system, and the monsters, and the whole storyline that set up. Final Fantasy X, when you start, you are just going through this massive open city called Zanarkand, and I'm just thrown away by the city. I wish we could have more time to explore the whole atmosphere of what was going on. We were about to go down to the nitty gritty in a championship game. We were about to get into a nitty gritty championship game of Blitzball. I like the fact of the Final Fantasies tendency to go to 4K astronomical graphic styles. Like, they know they have the capabilities to make the game look as good as the cutscene, and I don't know why they be teasing us with all of these beautiful drawn out cutscenes and cinematics, and then they give us just the little leftovers of 32-bit graphics. Ugh. But we later get better graphics with Final Fantasy 15, 20 years later. Ugh. But now, Tidus and Yuna, both of them were my goal relationship when I was coming up. I was just loving the kiss scene when they were going through underwater and they were making out, and they were gonna have some kids. They were gonna have some babies in that water. Childbirth underwater, they were gonna do that. And anytime I saw those two together, I was like, wow. If you have not played Final Fantasy X, I highly encourage you to go to the PlayStation Store and look for Final Fantasy X on the PS Vita or the PlayStation 4. When you get it, please use the regular sphere grid, because you have an option of using the regular sphere grid or the easier one, and it kind of just waters down the experience. You start off with Tidus. Yes, Tidus. It's not Tidus. People say Tidus. I say Tidus. Depending on where you're going from, Tidus is how it's supposed to be pronounced. The whole game wraps around sin. It's a big monstrosity that is going around all the cities that teach Machina and other disgusting weapons, and it punishes the civilizations for using the wrong types of machines and other things that were not of Yevon. But we turn out to find out that Yevon was actually a corrupt organization, and Sin was the main character's father. And Tidus went through time 1,000 years. Not necessarily. He was a dream from the beginning, created by the faith, the people, and the spirits that Yuna, the summoner that's going around to combat sin and defeat sin, they pray to them everywhere they go to summon up their version of the Guardian Forces from all the other Final Fantasies, where you have the summoning ability and all of those things. The game spoke to me in so many different ways, from the battle system, the voiceovers, and the crazy laughter. The laughter that So now Final Fantasy X And another Final Fantasy that made my list that I will make a whole separate video for will be in a couple days. I'm going to be talking about the action adventures, the shooters, and I'm going to be talking about RPGs. So Final Fantasy X, I wanted to 100% complete. Multiple different consoles. So now that I'm on it for the PlayStation 4, I'm going to be going through and grinding, because you have to fight all the dark versions of the summonable creatures that you come across in the game. And it takes a long time to grind that out. It takes a long time to level up everybody's character, find everybody's omega weapon, and find everybody's, natural weapons. It's just hard to find all of these things and avoid the enemies that you're coming across and maxing out everybody's stats. And that just takes a lot of time these days. That, I've got other games I've got to accomplish, and I've got a platinum Shenmue 2. I've got a platinum all these other games that's taking my attention. So the main reason I had this game on my top 10 was because this was one of the first games I had for the PlayStation 2. And it made me an RPG fanatic. It made me somebody that loved all the RPGs and the aspect of what Japan game developers come up with. So leave me a comment of what your favorite Final Fantasy game from the series was, and tell me if Final Fantasy X is your favorite, what stood out to you. The whole game of Blitzball, that was a beautiful touch. I've never played an RPG that had a sports element side quest in it that took up much of my time. Like, I really wanted to beat the Luca Goers when I first saw them, because they were annoying, they were arrogant, they just had a high chest on them, and they were just, oh, I'm the Luca Goers, I'm the one that's going to beat you and destroy what you got going on. And yeah, and then Tidus is like, when I learned the Jet Shot, I wish they was there. I wish they was standing right there, so that when they saw what I knew, they knew they were finna get that L when we made it to Luca. When we made it to Luca, I was walking out with that championship, and I was gonna have the last laugh. I was gonna be, That's Tidus. That's what Tidus does. If you don't believe me, here it is. Say this to say, if they had this game remade 1,000 times, I would still beat it. Not the game that is after it, but Final Fantasy X is good in my book. Now, when we talk about all the other Final Fantasies that made my list, which is just 2, but I will be talking about those in the next few videos. So thank you for watching so much. This is the Devout Joystick. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Cue Tidus's laugh, everybody.